Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, April 28th, 2021, and we are again in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions because at the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions come in. They're dealing with the most money, very smart people, best information, best technology, and they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms who control it during the day and move it to what they feel is the most valid price at the end of the day. And that's why, in my opinion, I consider that price the best price to make my end of day buying and selling decisions based upon what levels they're at. So thank you all for coming today. It's nice to see everyone. I hope you're having a good day. I always look forward to this time of the day when we have such a great group, so many people that help and contribute, and it's just great to hang out with my trading friends. So thank you for coming, and I'm hoping by spending time here that it is helping you with your trading and your investing. So currently, kind of a wild day in the market. We had the Fed announcement about an hour ago. The Dow is currently down 67 points, down 0.2%. The NASDAQ is up 23.49, up 0.15, and the S&P is up 8.45. So not too big of moves, but we had bigger moves intraday. So I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe out there following your trading plan. So, all right, here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a day trade today that I will share with you as well. After that, we're going to go over to the board. My students have some of their positions up there, so we're going to go through each one, take a look at those, and see how those are doing today. After that, I'm going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. I like to talk about this each day. It really is the most important skill that you can learn in trading and in life, by the way, as well. But in regards to trading, keeping your emotions even, following your trading plan, not letting your emotions get amplified because of how much money you're making or how losing, just staying cool, right in the middle, and following your plan. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I do have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. The first is I need to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. That's first. Second, I need a good risk to reward ratio based upon solid and strong resistance below me and solid and strong and strong and solid support below me and strong and likely resistance above me. If I'm willing to risk $500 on a trade, I need to be able to make 1,000 or more based upon those ratios. And then number 3, whatever trade you take, just make sure you have a full trading plan. Know exactly what you're going to do regardless of what happens. If this happens, I'm going to do that. If that happens, I'm going to do this. But make sure that you're position sizing for volatility, make sure you know where your end of day stop is, make sure you know where your emergency stop is, make sure you know where your profit targets are, make sure you know where your overhead resistance levels are, and make sure you have some kind of plan or protocol in place for trailing your winning trades. All right, it's all very important. And then lastly, keep in mind correlation. If you have 5 tech stocks and the market goes up, fantastic. But if you have 5 tech stocks and the tech market goes down, you're going to have some issues, So it's better to be diversified, different types of companies, different industries, even getting outside of equities into things like gold, bonds, silver, the dollar, the yen, coffee, whatever. Right? But just get some diversification in your holdings. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket kind of situation, right? So I do have some end of day candidates that I will be going through as we get closer to the close. I'm going to go through each one, fine tooth comb, look at the multiple time frames, look at the risk to reward ratios, keep in mind what kind of correlated positions I already have, as I just mentioned. And if I find something that looks good, something that makes sense to me, I will go ahead and buy it right before the close of the market. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. If you need any clarification on anything I discussed today, please let me know. I'll do my very best to clarify. That's why I'm here, help you out. So take advantage of it. And then lastly, if Any of my students have any new entries or exits today that they'd like me to update on the board? If you could please wait till the end of the day so that the market's closed, I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, and the pressure's off. All right, and then we'll spend as much time as we need to get them all updated. So hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, good. Thank you for sticking through that with me, and let's go and see who is here today. Love is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Johnson is here. Hello, Johnson. Always nice to have you. Gary is here. Good seeing you, Gary. Hope you and the family are doing well. Good chatting with you earlier today. David is here. Hello, David. Nice to see you. Hope you and your family are also doing well. Steve Burns is here. Steve, nice to see you. Always an honor, always a privilege to have you here. And thank you for everything that you do to contribute to this channel. I appreciate it, and I know everyone else does as well. Nigma is here. Hi, everyone. Good to see you, Nigma. Dan's giving me the peace sign. Right back at you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Nice to see you, Frank. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel as well, Frank. Lova says, watching NTNX deep dip buy with green MACD and nearly a 520 cross. We would need that cross to happen, and that would also create a break above the 50 RSI. Well, I love your analysis, Lova. It's getting so good. I mean, when I look at this, when I look at your comments, that's exactly how my brain thinks as well. Well, I mean, you know, you have a higher low V1 here as well. It looks like it might have rejected the 50, but that doesn't really come into play when I'm buying a deep dip buy above the 200-day moving average. Didn't quite get there, got pretty close. I don't know how NTNX backtest with the 520 crossover, but you're right. It's kind of hard to get a deep dip buy back over the 200 with MACD being positive. I mean, not hard, but it happens less frequently than the other times. We have that 50-day moving average moving down towards us, which, you know, could be a concern, but it's not bad. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly holding the 50 EMA, rejected by the -1 ATR channel. The weekly's kind of neutral at this point, but good analysis. Jonathan, good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening in Ireland, you and the family and the kids and the little one. It was fun speaking with him the other day. Jonathan's little son asked me if there are Lamborghinis in America, and I said, yes, there are. There are Lamborghinis in America, along with cowboys and Indians, I think I also said. Kamal is here. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. And thank you, as always, bud, for your friendship. Okay. Well, should we get to it? Let's get to it. Here we go. Starting off, Gary and I do have silver AGQ on the weekly, return to the value zone, sideways motion, false breakout the downside from the lowest low of this range here. V2 bought at 43.96. It's 47.30. Nice trade. If it keeps going up, we might have a 520 crossover on the weekly as well. But so far, this trade up 6.89%. So pretty good little trade there. Budweiser. Jonathan, Frank, Gary, David, and myself did take Budweiser, higher low V2 in the value zone while MACD was positive. Bought it at 62.91. It's 71.58. It's up 13.9%. 0.84%. I did hit one profit target at 67.55. I have one within reach now at 72.35. I do have earnings on the 6th of May, in which case, of course, I will exit my trade before then. So hopefully this can keep going up, but this has been a fantastic trade so far on the monthly. Fiverr. Okay. I did buy Fiverr yesterday. Was I the only one? Frank bought a half position. I bought Fiverr yesterday with the 520 crossover. I bought it at 224.30. This morning, not so hot tamale on the way down, but it's reversed back up. It's still slightly underwater. It's down 0.72%, but huge big rally off of the lows. The price is above both the 5 and the 20. If the price closed below the 5 and the 20, I would have to get out of half. That is what those are what my rules call for. But excuse me. But as is right now, I'm glad that it's way off of the lows. Goldman Sachs. All right, Goldman Sachs. David and myself did buy Goldman Sachs back here with the 520 crossover at 335.28. Moved up nicely, hit some profit targets, had a big down bar, which closed below both the 5 and the 20. That's why I took the trade. When that happens, my rules call for me to sell half. But I'm glad I kept the other half because it has just moved up like a champion. And I did hit one profit target today at 349.74. I am in trailing stop mode, but this last little leg up has been easy peasy lemon squeezy. What do you think about that? It's been a nice, easy leg up is what I'm saying. So I am in trailing stop mode here. All right, IBB. IBB, Steve, Tracy, and myself did buy IBB with the 520 crossover at 154.50. Moved up nicely. Has not quite got to my trailing stop level. Down a little bit today. It is down on the day, but it is nicely up on the trade. KMX. All right, here we go. KMX. I did buy KMX with the 520 crossover. Bought it here at 131.21, and it has moved up nicely. This one's been easy peasy lemon squeezy as well. I did hit one profit target here at 134.55, and this trade is up 2.32%, so not too shabby. Light. Okay. Lillian and I did take light with the return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside. V1 bought here at 91.74. It's currently 94.82. It's been great. It's just been going on up, and I am up 3.36%. Lilia and I are up 3.36% on that trade. Another weekly trade on Merck. I think Jonathan, yeah. Jonathan and I bought Merck with a higher low V2 here at 77.42. Moved up, hit a profit target, rejected the 50-day moving average. I got out of half. Whenever I have a trade, a higher low V1 or V2 that rejects the 50 or the 50 RSI or the 50-day moving average, I do get out of half. I did. It is slightly underwater on the balance that I have, but because I took profits up here and because I got out of half here with the rejection of the 50 and with a higher profit target up here, it is down from my entry point, but it is still up on the trade. And then earnings are on the 29th tomorrow, which I should check something. Give me 1 second. Hey, would anyone have any time to look and see whether or not Merck's earnings are tomorrow morning or they're tomorrow afternoon? I would appreciate that if you can. I'm not 100% sure. That just dawned on me. And I just did a quick search there, but let's see. When are Oh, it's pre-market. Okay. I am going to have to get out of Merck today then because it's pre-market. So I definitely will be getting out of Merck today and locking that in because earnings are tomorrow. So I will be out of Merck today. Roku. All right. So Jonathan, David, and I did buy Roku with the nice 520 crossover a couple days ago. Bought it at 368.89. Moved up initially, came back down. Today it's down. It looks like it's closing below both the 5 and the 20. The 5 is still above the 20. 360.52 to 350.20. But if it closes where it's at right now, I am going to have to get out of my half of the trade. That's the protocol that I have as a precautionary measure. And then lastly, SPY had a decent little overnight SPY trade. I bought it at 417.52, sold it this morning at the open at 417.84. So I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight, take that overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. All right, let's go to day trades here. I had a nice little trade on the Qs earlier in the day. Here we go. Here was the trade. Under 30, over 30, false breakout to the downside, V1, bought it here at 338.73. Next bar went zooming on up. I sold half at 339.03. Had another big up bar here. I sold half at 339.25. Lost the 50 RSI over here at 339.20. Then rejected the 50-day moving average up here at 339.40 and finally had to close below the previous day's low at 339.18. So in at 338.73, out at 339.03, out at 339.18, out at 339.20, and out at 339.40. So that was a good little trade for sure. And I think that is it as far as that goes. Johan is here. Good to see you, Johan. Hope you're having a good day. Miko says, hello, Greg and everyone. Good to see you, Miko. Gary says, unusual option activity in HOG. Let's take a look at HOG. Okay, come on, buddy. Come on now. All right. Oh, Harley Davidson. Yeah, big strong move up there. Little extended for me though, Gary, you know that. Merck before the bell. Thank you. And I will be selling Merck today. Expected tomorrow. Yavar is here. Nice to see you, Yavar. All right, let's take a look and see how everyone else is doing with their positions. All right, first on deck is CGC. Paxton, Tracy, way to go. Nice trade. My gosh, Tracy bought CGC with a bounce off the 200-day moving average. Deep dip buy at 27.15. It is 28.21. It's up 4.83% just today. And on this trade, oh yeah, that was underwater a little bit. So up 3.69%. So nicely up on the day, nicely up on the trade. So this is an interesting trade here. The marijuana stocks have definitely been strong today. MACD went positive, so this is looking pretty good. All right. I know we have a bunch of us in this one. Steve and Kamal and David. David bought here at 97.90, higher low V2. Steve bought at 101.86 with the 520 crossover. Is that 101.86? Yes. And Kamal added yesterday. Don't know exactly the price, but Kamal added yesterday. So everyone up on this trade. So congratulations, Steve, David, and Kamal. And that was with the 520 crossover. NVAX. All right, this is Frank. Frank bought all the way back here, 135, went screaming up, more than doubled. Biggest trade I've seen this year. He sold 90%, came back down with this 10% that he had lost, had a huge up day yesterday, 14%. Frank took half of his trailer off. He sold half, so now he has 5%, and he's just going to go along for the ride. But this has been a fantastic trade. Nike. Steve bought Nike with this nice deep dip buy here at 126.90. Deep dip buy off of the 200-day moving average. Moved up strongly. Finally, looks like we might have a close below the previous day's low. It is down 1.04% today, but he's up 2.94% on the trade. So excellent, Steve. Way to go. GNRC, Steve and Jonathan bought GNRC with the 520 crossover, 331.12. Initially went up, but today, big down day, down 4.66%. So down on the day and down on the trade on this one. ELY, Frank having a nice trade on ELY at 27.75. It's 29.71. So this trade is up on the day and it is up 6.65%. So beautiful trade there. INDA, Tracy and Steve had a great dip buy setup on INDA. V1 bounced near the 30 RSI, bought at 39.56. It's 41.54. It's up 1.1% just today. And this trade so far up 4.79%. So congratulations, Tracy and Steve. RBLX, Tracy and Paxton bought RBLX at 74.80. It's currently 75.42, up 1.44% today and up on the trade. And lastly, IWM. Steve bought IWM with the 1030 and the 1050 SMA crossover at 228.28. It's 228.73. So it's up a little on the day and also up on the trade. Whew. All right. Etsy. Yes, let's look at Etsy. False breakout to the downside. Nice V1 bullish engulfing bar. The only thing that concerns me about this, Jonathan, is that we've already rejected the 50 RSI. We've already rejected the 50-day moving average. I don't see any crossovers, but you know, if I was in this trade and it did this at the end of the day, I would get out of half. So me personally, I don't think I would enter into this trade because it's rejected two key levels. It's rejected the 50-day moving average and it's rejected the 50 RSI. Mark Ream, how you doing, Mark? Appreciate you coming. Hope you're having a good day. Mark says, on your deep dip buy class, is the ATR set for 14 length? That's the default on TradingView. No, I use 20 on my ATRs. I am aware that the default is 14, but no, I use 20. I use a value of 20 for my ATR channels or my Keltner channels. And thank you for taking the deep dip buy course. I hope it's been helpful for you, Mark. And if there's anything I can help you with today, please let me know. Gary says, Jonathan, I like Etsy today. V1 above 50 RSI, above 150. Would love if we can get over the 50 SMA. Okay, so it's over the 50. It's over the 50 RSI now. That is good, but it still has rejected the 50-day moving average. Frank has a poem for us. Let's check it out. Let me paste this over here. All right, here we go. Trading is harder than it looks, that's for sure. Trading is harder than it looks. Those who fail shout Wall Street. Those who fail shout Wall Street, nothing but a bunch of crooks. But those that patiently study and find their nook will soon be shopping for a bigger pocketbook. Nice. Trading is harder than it looks. Those who fail shout Wall Street, nothing but a bunch of crooks. But those that patiently study and find their nook will soon be shopping for a bigger pocketbook. I like that image of shopping for a bigger pocketbook. Yeah, excuse me. I'd like to upsize to a bigger pocketbook. I have so much money. I need a little bigger one. I like it. I like it. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. Mark says 20 SMA. Yes, I do use the 20 SMA. Sometimes on some platforms, Mark, they don't allow you to use SMA. It's just default at the EMA, and that's fine as well. But I've just been doing it so many years with the SMA. That's just what I'm comfortable for. But it doesn't mean 20 SMA is better than 20 EMA. There'll be pluses and minuses. But yes, me personally, I use the 20 SMA. So we have earnings, big earnings today. After the bell, we have Apple, we have Facebook, we have Qualcomm, Ford, eBay, MGM. So should be interesting. Yesterday, Microsoft got hammered to the downside. Alphabet went screaming up. AMD, I think, was up. Not sure what it's doing now, but yes, big earnings week. This is the earnings week of this quarter, the big one. So Apple, Facebook, Ford, eBay, MGM tomorrow, and then Thursday is also going to be good with Amazon, Twitter, NIO. So you know my policy on earnings. I do not hold through earnings. That is why I am getting out of Merck today, because earnings are tomorrow morning pre-market. So this will be my first opportunity, my only opportunity to get out. All right, so listen, before we start looking at potential end of day trades, just want to touch on trader psychology a little bit. As I say, it's the most important skill in trading. It really is the skill of following your plan. This is my friend Thomas Paine. What I love about Thomas was a scientist, and he switched careers and became a trader. And what I really love is that he brought the scientific method, that mindset that he has from being a scientist into trading. And I think it works well for him. Follow him on Twitter, Thomas Paine, or at Trader T Paine. He has great information. I always read every single post that Thomas has because it's well worth your time to read it and internalize it. Let's see what Thomas says. Trading is an art and science. That is so true. Trading is an art and science. Art, interpretation of indicators and price action. Science, math of risk to reward and calculated expectancy. You can be a great artist but fail if you don't understand the math. You can be a mathematician but fail if you suck at art. And when I studied with Kerry Lavorne, he was one of my teachers and coaches and mentors in the past. He's the one that taught me all about the V1s, V2s, return to value V1s, V2s, higher low V1s, V2s. Really admire that man a lot and appreciate everything he told me. But, he brought this up many, many times in our lessons. It's an art and a science. And like Thomas says, yes, I mean, the math, it's not that hard of math, right? But you do need a little bit of math, that's for sure, to evaluate your risk to reward ratios, specifically position sizing for volatility. It's some basic math, right? But the rest of it, of the artistic part, is being able to find the repetitive patterns, take into consideration the big picture, looking at the daily, looking at the weekly as well, reading price action. So it really is a blend. It's a blend of art and it's a blend of science. So you have to have them both, but it's not like you have to be Van Gogh or Albert Einstein as far as your artistic and your math skills, but you do have to have a little of both. It's just the yin and the yang of trading. So let's read it one more time. Thomas Paine. Trading is an art and a science. Art is the interpretation of indicators and price action. Science is the math of risk to reward and calculated expectancy. What percentage of your wins you're going to have, and then you have to factor that in vis-a-vis your risk to reward ratio and your win to your win to loss factors. You can be a great artist, but if you fail, you can be a great artist but fail if you don't understand the math. Yeah, you could be a great chart reader, but if you don't use the right math, you're in trouble. And you can be a great mathematician, but fail if you suck at the interpretation of the charts as the art aspect. So thank you, Thomas. Wonderful as always, buddy. Appreciate what you do. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your trading is going well. So that was helpful for me. I hope it was helpful for everyone else. Okay, we're ahead of schedule. I've got to take care of something real quick. I apologize. If you guys hang out for about 30 seconds, I'll be right back. Okay. Thanks for holding on. Okay, so what's happening here? All right, so before we start taking a look at, new entries for today, let me just take a look at the ones that I currently have. More important than adding new ones, managing the ones you have. Weekly on the silvers, great trade, doing well. I don't anticipate having to do anything with that today. Budweiser on the monthly trade, doing fantastic. Don't anticipate having to do anything with that. Fiverr, I'm going to have to watch this one at the end for sure. Put a little blue mark here to let me know that I may have something to do, especially if we close below the 5 and the 20, I will have to sell half. Those are my rules. Goldman Sachs doing fantastic. Don't see anything I have to do with that. Sorry, I'm having to check my notes here. Oh, there we go. Okay. IBB did not hit my trailing stop level, so this close below the previous day's low does not factor in, but that looks fine. KMX doing fantastic with the profit target there. Don't anticipate having to do anything there. Light, that's the weekly. It's doing fine. I don't anticipate anything there. Merck, I'll tell you what, I'm going to sell Merck right now because I have a lot of stuff to do at the end of the day. So the earnings are tomorrow, and I'm going to go ahead and just exit this right now while I'm thinking about it. I always fear that I'm going to get busy with the podcast, or fear that I'm going to get busy with something at the end of the day and then forget, and then not be able to get out at a good place after hours. And so, all right, I'm just going to go ahead, sell Merck right now, get that over with so that it's off of my mind. Know what I'm saying? Oh, come on, buddy. Come on, let's go. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, Merck's taken care of. Roku, also something I have to watch at the end of the day. If it closes below both the 5 and the 20, I will have to get out the 5. 360.76 is still above the 20. So those are my two that I'm going to have to watch. Fiverr and Roku. And then, of course, I have my overnight SPY trade, which I did not put in. I better do that right now. So I'm just putting in a market order close purchase on SPY for my regular amount, so I don't forget. Okay, that's all taken care of as well. See, what are the Qs doing? Apple's just hanging in there with an 11-cent down on the day. Steve says, I exited Nike with a 2.96% gain, IBB with a 1.52% gain, GNRC with a 4.49% loss. They all had bearish candle reversals under the previous day's low and lower highs. Okay, makes sense, Steve. I will go ahead and take those off after the market closes. Steve says, my current position, I'm still holding PLTK, which is up 5.51%. Nice. INDA, which is up 5.38%. Nice. U is up 3.23%. Perfect. And IWM is up 0.43%. Wonderful. Nice trade, Steve. Ava is here. Hi, Ava. Nice to see you. Ava says, Steve, is 2050 SMA crossover a valid signal for you? Same question for Greg. I have not seen many back test using the 2050 Ava. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen any. So maybe Steve has, but that's my answer. Steve says, I don't trade that crossover Ava, but I have not back tested that one. It could be valid on some charts. There you go. Yeah. On some it might, on some it others, but I have rarely seen that. Steve says, PLTR lift and pins all charts of interest to me this week. Well, let's put those down there. I know that lift, we discussed lift the other day as well, or earlier today, excuse me. PLTR. Come on, buddy. PLTR. All right. LYFT. And pins. All right, good. Thank you for those, Steve, and we'll take a look at those for sure. Okay, so Uber does have a V1 and a 520 crossover. Not too bad. I did backtest Uber, and it did not backtest well with the 520 alone. However, we do have the higher low V1 and the 520, which I kind of like. I kind of like that. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly's right in the value zone. Pretty good area. Earnings not until the 5th of May, so there's enough time to hold that for a possible run into earnings. So I kind of like Uber. Like I said, the 520 doesn't backtest well, but this higher low V1 in conjunction is pretty nice. CGC, big strong day, bullish engulfing bar. This is a V1, although not a lot of a washout. That's the only issue here, is there's not a legitimate amount of washout, but we are positive on the MACD. We rejected the -1 ATR channel. These are all good things as well. PLTR looks like it had a 520 crossover yesterday. Let me see if I can back test that real quick. Yep. On ETF replay, I cannot backtest that, so I can't really comment on that one, unfortunately. Speaking of TradingView, I have my backup charts here. Okay, that all looks good. Lyft also has a 520 crossover. I did backtest this, I think earlier for Lilia. It does backtest well. What I don't like, though, I don't like the big down bar. Yesterday's previous big down bar. I'm always concerned about taking a trade up against a bar that's larger than 1 ATR, because what that means is there was an abnormal amount of buying. There was an abnormal amount of selling, more than normal, to make that bar go down more than 1 ATR. So Yes, we've rallied back into it. We do have a 520 crossover, but this is kind of the artistic part that I was just talking about, reading the price action. I mean, this might go up, it might go up great, but honestly, if I was looking at this chart right now and I was day trading, I would switch to a smaller time frame and look for a short, because we have a big down bar. We've rallied to halfway 50% of the Fibonacci. And so I would, go to a smaller time frame. And I have to have a correct setup on the smaller time frame to short, but the bigger picture is stuck right at halfway against a bigger bar than more than 1.5 or 1 ATR. So I don't like lift for that reason. Pins. Okay, so Steve was watching pins, got hurt on earnings. This is Pinterest, 36.50. I imagine Steve is probably looking for a deep dip buy with an under over 30. ALNY closed back above the 200-day moving average, but it looks like we have earnings tomorrow, so I'm not interested in that. OII. Big strong day up, but it's a V2, it's a higher low V2, but you have a huge gap here, so I'd stay away from that. Stamps.com having a decent day, but we're right up against resistance here. I really don't see anything that would interest me on that. SHW, Sherwin-Williams, just too high. NLS 520 crossover on Nautilus Group. I don't know how this backtest. I tried backtesting this yesterday, couldn't get anything, so I don't see anything here for me at least. REGN back in the value zone, but no clear trigger. NEWR higher low V1, but too high for me over the 1 ATR channel. Remember, the green line here and the green line here, this is considered the value zone. I like to buy the majority of my stocks in the value zone, not above them. Sometimes I will for crossovers, but I prefer to buy under value or in value and try to sell over value. That's kind of my trading approach. APPN, boy, look at this V, straight down, straight back up. Nothing clear here though for me. Caterpillar, nice V2. Here's day 1, 2, 3. 2 washes out day 1. 3 is above day 1's close, but earnings are tomorrow, so I'm going to stay away from that. PTON making a base down here with the V1. So technically, is this a false breakout to the downside? Not really, not yet, but it is a V1, but I don't see anything that would interest me there. NBIX. Not bad. Not bad. Weekly moving sideways. It's okay. Only 416,000 shares traded, so I'm going to stay away from that. Box. I don't see anything clear there either. CNI, Canadian National Railway. Don't see anything there either. I think my favorite today is Uber. Higher low V1 and a and a 520 crossover to boot. CGC is also looking good. I like that it is finally closed above the 10-day EMA. You see how long this has been under the 10-day? That's the pink line. Under, over. We finally closed over. That could be a sign that something is changing. That's how I look when we close over a moving average that we haven't closed over for a long time. So this is good. MACD is positive. It is a bullish engulfing bar that is also positive. We're at a 45.80 RSI, 50 RSI for tomorrow, probably going to be somewhere in here. So, like Tracy's already in the trade, which is fantastic. But to take this right here, right now, I'm probably going to pass. But I think I'm going to go with Uber. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly's right in the value zone, has moved to run. So, yeah, I think I'll go with Uber today. Steve says PLTR and Lyft have 520 crossovers this week. Ava noticed a 2050 cross on Bill, EXAS, and Snap today. Hence the question. Oh, I see. Snap. Okay, what was that? A 2050. I have time. LYFT and a 2050 cross. That one does backtest positively. I'm using the 2050 exponential moving average on Lyft. Doesn't backtest really well, only 8.5%. But like Steve said, it definitely will backtest on some of them. But whether it's a robust backtest method, I don't know about that. And I'd hate to give you any bad information on that. So I'm going to put Uber right here because that's what I'm watching. Now I better bring my attention back to Fiverr. Fiverr looks like it's holding. Roku looks like it's going to close under, in which case I'm going to have to get out of half. And I'm already at a Merc. Steve says pins getting close to overbought under the 35 RSI. So Steve's looking for a low 35 RSI reading on a deep dip buy. Johnson says SFIX very near for a close above 200-day in the value zone. Lots of coiling, small bars. So that's Stitch Fix. Let's take a look. Yeah, on my chart, still rejecting the 200-day moving average though, Johnson. MACD's positive. Sideways for the last couple days though. I wouldn't really call that coiling, other than today is an inside bar of yesterday. But I mean, you can see we have been moving up. I really wouldn't call that coiling, in my opinion. Oh, you meant SMA. All right. Well, let me switch it back to SMA and we'll see, Eva. So this is on the 2050 on Lyft. That backtests a lot better. It backtests 19.6% with the SMA compared to 7.5% with the EMA. So that helped. All right, so Steve said, I meant oversold on pins. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. Yeah, 35.82. Let's take a peek over at the weekly and see what that looks like. Has that -1 ATR channel there that could act as support. So that might be a good confluence with the -1 ATR channel confluence, and then also the 30 RSI confluence on the daily. And the 30, well, let's just look at it like if it were tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the way, Steve, the 30 RSI dovetails exactly with the 200-day moving average. Do you see that, Steve? about 59.36. That would be a massive confluence, everybody, of a 30 RSI and a 200-day moving average. So, let's keep our eye out and let's follow pins. And if we can get that confluence of near, 59.36 with the 30 RSI confluence and the 200-day, that would be outstanding. But it'd have to go down another 10% if it happened tomorrow. It could keep going down. It would just take longer. All right, so Roku does look like it's going to close below both the 5 and the 20. It may even have a 520 cross under as well, in which case I'd have to get out of all of it. Come on, buddy. What's happening here with my time to okay. All right, so that takes care of that. And then do a little of this over here like that. A little something something there. Okay. So definitely looks like I'm going to be taking half of Roku off, if not everything. We're very close. The 5's 360.11 compared to 360.08. So it looks like we have some selling off here at the end of the day. Okay, Steve's long PLTR at 23.85 after the 520 crossover. Lovis says CGC is the third deep dip buy in a week that's given additional buy signals after going up from the dip. Oh, good analysis there. Steve says that's a great pins multi-time frame confluence. If it happens, it would likely bounce intraday. Yes. So, let's make a note. Let's make a note to see if we do get the confluence on pins in the coming day. Lova says the deep dip course is worth a lot more than $11. That's what I thought when I made it. It took me months to make it. But hey, listen, I'm just glad it's out there. I've gotten a lot of really great reviews and feedback on the course, and a lot of people telling me it's really helped them change the way they're thinking about their trading, even people that have been trading for 20 years. So if you haven't taken the course, it's over on Udemy. I'll talk about it when we get done with the market, but it is a great course for $11. I mean, it's really good. And I think it will change your perception of trading in general, regardless of what methodology you use. But thanks for that, Lova. All right, we have 4 minutes left. Dow's down 167 points now. NASDAQ's down 40. S&P's down 3. Apple down 96 cents now. So interesting. Interesting. So Roku almost certainly looks like I'm going to go ahead and sell. Well, I guess I'll just wait. We could have a cross under, in which case I just have to get out of everything. How's my friend FVRR doing? It's hanging in there like a champion that it is. Okay. So we have about 4 minutes to go. Uber's looking like it's closing at a high right now, or it is at a high right now. Oh, Roku looks like it's crossing under, so I'm going to go ahead and have to get rid of all of Roku, unfortunately. Ugly bars as well, so all right, I'm going to just go ahead and take that off. And I'm going to buy Uber at the close. That's that. What's Mr. VIX looking like? Tried to create a false breakout to the downside in a V1. Interesting. All right, about a minute left. I sold Roku. Going to buy Uber. Also sold Merck because of earnings. All right, so I'm buying Uber right here. Okay. That is that, as they say. All right. So, where did I buy? What did I buy? I bought SPY at 417.40, and I bought Uber at 58.41. By the way, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions on Apple? Do they beat or do they miss? And does the stock go up or does it go down? And we'll give a prize to the person that nails it. I don't know what the prize will be, but we'll figure something out. So does Apple beat, and does the stock, or do they miss, or does the stock go up, or does the stock go down? All right, so SPY. My new overnight SPY trade level is at 417.40. Is that right? That don't seem 417.40. Yes. All right. Good. And Uber Technologies 58.41 with the higher low V1 and the combination of the 520 crossover. All right. Now, I did get out of Roku because of the 520 cross under. See that? It crossed back over at the very end. Oh, well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But I would have gotten out of half regardless, but oh well. Nothing I can do. And Fiverr held in there. Yep. Good. Good. All right. So listen, if any of my students have any new entries or exits for me today, go ahead, put it in the live stream. I will get them all taken care of real quick. Just want to take care of 3 little pieces of business. Before I get to that, just remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I think I'm good at it. I know I teach a really good course. I teach you all five of my different trade setups that I use that I've been using for the last 25 years. The course is 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, so they're pretty long. It's pretty intensive. So the total course is 15 hours, and then each lesson I teach you a specific setup, one of the 5 setups that I use, step by step, how to position size for volatility, emergency stops, so you can calibrate, your emergency worst case scenario in any one trade, end of day stops, profit targets, overhead resistance levels, trailing stop protocols. It's a great course. I've taught many great students that have had really good results. I've seen them grow as traders, and I know if you take the course, you're going to become a better trader as well. It does cost $1,750, so it is an investment in yourself, but it is an investment in yourself, right? Now that I said it twice, but it really is. You will be a better trader and have a better understanding of support, level, resistance, position sizing, all that kind of stuff. And in that course, it's intensive. I take you through. I make you think, I make you drive, right? We do a lot of simulated trading where I'll teach you what I'm teaching you, but after that, you have to take the trades. You have to tell me, I'm in here, I'm out here. If you're incorrect, I'll correct you. But you get a lot of repetition in this course, and I think that's the best way to learn. And I think one-on-one's the best way to learn as well. So, if you're interested, just send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do, I'll reply, say, hey, how's it going? Thanks for saying hi. Let's set up a Skype call. Skype call is totally free. I just want to talk to you. I want to learn more about you and your trading, your challenges, your goals. It's a good time for you to ask me questions, any specific questions that you have about the course. We'll get to know each other. And, when we're done with the call, take as much time as you want, think about it. And then if you decide, yeah, I want to do that with Greg, write me back and we will get it scheduled, and we will be, we'll get started, right? We will get started. And I know you're going to be happy that you took the course. I mean, from a lot of experience with a lot of students that I've taught, they've always, I guess not maybe everybody, but like majority said, I'm really glad that I took this course. Secondly, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I do have a course, an online course that's available on udemy.com. It's the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's one of my favorite strategies. I used it today on that nice Q trade that I had, the under 30, over 30 trade. So, that kind of stuff works. Steve was just mentioning it with pins, looking for that confluence of that 200-day moving average and the 30 RSI. So it's on udemy.com. The link's in the description. It's only like $11, $12, $13, $14, depending on what day you buy it. And it's extensive. It's 9.5 hours, 26 videos, 15 study guides, and do yourself a favor, spend the $11, $12, watch it. I know it's going to help you trading. Lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before you get on out of here and get on with your day. It really helps the channel, helps keep the channel around, helps build the channel. And so if you learned anything today or learned anything in the past that was helpful, I would just appreciate it if you could hit that thumbs up button before you cruise on out of here. All right, so enough of that. Let's take a look. I know Steve bought some stuff. Steve bought PLTR. PLTR. All right, Steve bought that with the 520 crossover. He bought it at 23.85. Ah, all right. Okay, got you down there, Steve. Good luck with that, bud. Enigma says, I agree, Lova. Oh, did you take the course, Enigma? Thank you. I appreciate that. Enigma says, Exxon gave a buy signal, but earnings will make it sell off, in my opinion. Let's look at Exxon. Whoa. Big day up on Exxon. A little chasey. MACD went positive, but we have earnings tomorrow or the next day. So we'll see if you're right there, Enigma. Kamal says no trades today. Okay, good. Frank says out of Fiverr for a wash. Wash trades. I'm always most impressed with the wash trade. That really shows trading maturity when you can just get out at break even. That shows great control. Okay, Frank. Got you out of there. Gary says, I'm long Uber. Long PLTR. With Steve over here. Okay. Gary, I've been looking for some options plays to sell some premium. I just haven't seen anything. Haven't seen anything from you either. You and I both like to trade options. I guess I'm just waiting for a bit of a pullback so I can, sell some premium and get a little volatility in there as well and get some better prices. David is long PLTR as well. Gary says Apple beat and up. Okay, noted. Noted with Gary. Gary says Apple beats and they're up. Okay. Jonathan is out of Merck. All right, so we're both out of Merck. So Merck's gone. We have earnings tomorrow, so I don't want to get involved in earnings debacle. GNRC. All right, so Steve. Oh, I've got to go back and find what Steve did there. And then Roku with a emoji that's crying. Yep. All right, Steve. Where was Steve's stuff here? Okay, he exited Nike. Okay. Steve's out of Nike. Nice game. Exited IBB. Of the 530 cross. All right. Nike, IBB, and then GNRC. Yeah, I already took you out of that one. Okay. Okay. Johnson said his opinion, his punt is Apple beats no significant change. Jonathan says Apple up and up. David is out of Roku. Yeah, that one didn't work out so hot tamale, did it? Okay. Mark says Apple goes up equals 1 year of free mentoring. Wow, that's like a 50-50. I don't know if my odds are that great on that. Uh, I don't even have an opinion on Apple whether it goes up or not, to be honest with you. I guess if I had to say, uh, I mean, if I knew, I'd put my money where my mouth was, right? Johan says no trades. Thanks, Greg. Have a good one, everyone. And thank you for coming, Mark. I'm glad. I'm glad that you took the course, and I'm glad you're here. And I hope you keep coming back. Gary says I highly recommend Greg's course. It was worth every penny. My trading has really transformed. One-on-one is the only way to really learn. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, it was really great working with you, Gary, and getting to know you. And that's one of my favorite things about teaching is I get to know so many people from around the world because we hang out for 15 or 18 hours together, right? So, just from a personal standpoint, I've met so many nice people around the world, and I really look forward to every new student that I have. Kamal says, "Oh wait, I got out of you today." Nope, sorry, Kamal, did not get that in time. I'm gonna have to keep you in. Now I'll get you out. All right. So I'm wearing a t-shirt today. Why is that so interesting? It's really not, but generally I run cold. I usually wear some kind of long sleeve shirt, like compression shirt, to stay warm. Today, however, I've turned over a new leaf and I actually have a t-shirt on. Any of my students, I guarantee you, have never seen me in a t-shirt. So today I'm feeling footloose and fancy free with my t-shirt on. Okay. Mark Green says too aggressive. Well, I don't know if I can do a year's worth. I've been busy teaching. I think that would do me in, to be honest with you. All right. Is Apple the one that's always, oh, sweet. I just looked at Kamal, I just looked at the Bitcoin chart, and I did take it. I did take a trade. I trade an account for a friend of mine of Bitcoin, and I did buy a deep dip buy off of BTC on the over the 200-day moving average, and it just went rocketing up in this last 15-minute bar. Now it's selling off a little bit, but still nicely up on the trade. So good. Good. Aw, boo. Let's see. All right, let's see what app's doing. I think they come out at 2:30, don't they? They're like always stylishly late. Apple's up 83 cents after hours. revenue rises 48%. So what's Facebook doing? Whoa. Facebook's up 5.5%, everybody. Nice. All right, so there's that. Gary says, I haven't really seen any options that I like recently. I was looking at Mara a few days ago, but I missed the boat. Kamal says, check shop. Wow. Wowzers. Big day. Mark says, gotta go. Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for coming by. Thank you for coming by. Hope you're doing well. And come back and see us again. Wow, big beat on Facebook. Wow. I'll tell you what, while we're waiting for Apple earnings, let me just do this real quick. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is by Martin Kornfeld. I say it every day, but I mean it, everybody. Try to go out, do something nice for somebody each day. If you can also go out and do something nice for an animal that you come across, that would be doubly as good, right? It's going to make the human feel good. It's going to make the animal feel good. And it should make you feel good as well. And maybe one day when you're in need of it, someone will come along and do something nice for you. And it could change your whole day. So it's, I think it's a good policy. I think we should all implement it each day. And I think it would make the world a better place if we would do that. So just one random act of kindness daily to a human, to an animal. And it'd be good, right? It'd be good. So Apple's up $1.30 now after hours. $1.40. Probably on the heels of Facebook. All right, well, while we're waiting, I need to check on something. Let me check on that real quick. So it looks like everybody said No, not everyone. Apple was going to beat, but it was going. Most people said it was going to go up, and I think Nigma said that was going to be, or no, Johnson said it was going to be fairly unchanged. So we'll see. We shall see. If we only knew, right? If we only knew right this second, place our bets, and that would be easy. But not that easy. All right, I think we have about 7 suspenseful minutes. All right, so Apple's up $1.24. Spy's up just a little bit. Right, anyone have any jokes? Anything to fill this dead air? All right, so I think I got everything. Gary, long Uber. Steve, long his PLTR, in his stuff, out of his stuff. Q, Budweiser, Goldman Sachs, IVB, KMX, and Light, and Spy, and Uber, and Fiber. Yep, that's that. All right, Apple, this better be good. This better be good for all this waiting and anticipation. It's up $1.49 now. All right. Posting Frank's poem over here, as always. All right. I don't think there's ever been so much dead air on this podcast ever. Sorry, I don't know what else to talk about. Okay. Okay, that's done. Doing a little of my housekeeping things here while we wait. Okay. Lova says, I'm tempted to hold NIO through earnings. I won't because this is a good opportunity to practice following the rules when I don't want to. Very good point. You never know, Lova. Remember, we're risk managers. We manage risk. And the worst way to manage risk is to hold through earnings. Sometimes it works, but the times it doesn't, remember, we want to keep a hold of the money and preserve the capital that we have. That's more important than making money, right? Frank says, in the middle of a sermon, Satan suddenly appears. Everyone screamed and ran out of the church except one woman. The preacher raised her hand and said, why did you not run? Oh man, where's the payoff on this? I'm captivated. In the middle of a sermon, Satan suddenly appears. Everyone screamed and ran out of the church except one woman. The preacher praised her and said, why did you not run? I want to know, why did she not run, Frank? Oh, Apple's up $5. So they must have beat. They must have beat, right? I don't see it over on CNBC though. Good for the overnight SPY trade, that's for sure. So Apple's up $5.70. So whoever said they were going to beat and up, nice going. To which she replied, I'm not afraid of him. After all, I was married to his brother. There you go. Nice. Nice, nice. Well, everybody, I think that's it for the day, huh? I don't see any headline on Apple, but I assume they beat because they're up. So we'll just go with that. So thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for the the poem, and thanks for the joke, Frank. I appreciate that. Um, so be safe, do something good for someone else, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.